Welcome to the Tech Lab. This is our space where we can come together and ask questions and experiment and try to find out different ways to make technology work for you. So we're focused on technology solutions for businesses, for content creators, and for ministry. So we want to make sure that we have an inclusive space where we want to make sure that we can even start with the beginners and help you get the foundation that you need to be successful. So there are going to be some times when we are going to geek out on some different things, but one thing that we're going to try to make sure that we do is bring you solutions that are not going to break the bank, that it can get the job done for you, get you to the end result that you want to have, but not be too overwhelming. So tonight we're going to look at a situation where you're in a venue and you have a program going on. You have a speaker up there that you, of course, need to have as part of your live stream, but they are also using a PowerPoint presentation that you want to include in the live stream as well. So I know in some cases I've seen where people will try to position the camera where they can get the speaker, zoom in on them at times, and then zoom in on the TV screen or the projection screen that's displaying the PowerPoint presentation. And it can work, it can get the job done, but honestly, it's not the best look for your viewer to see it that way. So we're going to look at a way that we can actively bring in that PowerPoint presentation into your live stream and make it easy for it to work and make it look high quality. So the way that we're going to do that, we're going to leverage a technology called NDI, or Network Device Interface. NDI is a suite of free tools that are very powerful and allows you to bring in both video and audio to various computers and devices over your network. So you don't have to have a physical connection. It's best if you have a wired network, but it will work over wireless as well. So for the solution tonight, we're going to be looking at two tools. One of them is going to be the screen capture. The screen capture allows you to capture the screens from a computer and make those available to other computers. And the other thing that we're going to use is going to be the studio monitor. The studio monitor is going to take in those video and audio inputs from other computers and display it, in this case, on our streaming computer. And then we're going to be able to bring it into our streaming program, which for the purposes of the demonstration tonight, we're going to be using Evmux. This same technology works with other streaming platforms as well, but we're going to be displaying it tonight in Evmux. Right now, what I am working on my streaming computer, and I do have another computer that's actually going to be doing the presentation. So if I switch over, I'm seeing the PowerPoint in the presentation computer. So it's ready to go, but it's a couple of things that we need to do initially to make this work for us. So now I'm looking at the screen on my streaming computer. And what I'm going to do here is open up a program. And what I just opened up was the studio monitor. Okay, so right now it's going into infinity and we're going to change that. What I can do in the studio monitor is actually click on these three lines here. And it's going to give me a drop down that allows me to select from the other computer. So I'm going to come down to this one and select the second screen on it. So this is on the same computer that I just showed you, where we're actually going to be running the PowerPoint presentation. So now we have Studio Monitor open. And one thing that I normally do is take that Studio Monitor. I'm working in Windows 11. I'm going to go up to the top and dock it in the top right-hand quadrant of the screen. Okay, that way I know that it has fixed dimensions and I won't have to worry about anything once we get into doing everything in the program. Okay, so The next thing that I would do would be to right click on that studio monitor screen and come down to settings, output, and then there's an option down there to hide window border. And so I'm going to go ahead and click on that and hide the border. Okay. Then we're ready for our next steps. So the next thing that we do is going to be over in Evmux. So in Evmux, we have an option here to share screen. And this option is going to be available no matter what tier of Evmux that you have. You can click on share screen and it's going to bring up a dialog box. And in that dialog box, you can either choose a Chrome tab if you're working in Chrome. You can choose the entire screen. So I can pick either one of my computer screens on this particular computer, or I can go to Window. And under Window, what I want to select is that NDI source. That is the studio monitor that we just opened up. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that and click Share. Okay, when I do, that's going to add that instance down here in my asset tray. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to a fresh scene so that we can add this in. Okay, so I have a scene that just has my logos and my video on there, and I actually want to add in that content from that particular screen that we just put in. So I'm just going to click on it where it says add to screen. Okay, it's going to bring it in. And since we're working in a pro scene in Evmux, I do have free option to move this as I want to. So I can move it over. And then I can make it a little smaller so that it fits right in there just the way that I want it to. So again, we're looking at the second screen on my presentation computer. Okay, second screen on presentation. So now I'm going to switch back over. What did I do? I need to change this input to show much input. Okay, so now I switched it over. So I'm showing my presentation computer. And this is again showing the PowerPoint presentation. And then I can switch to, again, the second screen on there. So once I start my PowerPoint presentation, or whatever presentation that we're going to be doing, on this screen, it's going to go to the presenter screen so they can preview their presentation and they have the ability to move through the slides as they need to. On the other screen, it is actually showing the output that the people in the venue are seeing. And that is what we want to show over here. So what I'm going to do is switch my studio monitor over to that screen. So now we're seeing the same thing that the people in the venue are seeing. So when the presenter changes screens, we see that change in the live stream as well. So everything is in sync with what they're seeing. You as the producer or the camera operator don't have to worry about making these changes. What's going to happen is as the presenter actually moves through things, the screens are going to move as well. And again, it's going to stay in sync. So I think this is a better way of handling situations like that so that you can display on the live stream what is actually going on in your presentation. And as we go along, we'll look at some other ways to do this as well. With some of the higher tier plans in Evmux, you can actually add in additional cameras. So you can have sources coming from different areas at the same time, and you can switch dynamically between those. We'll be looking at that. We'll also be looking at NDI router, which is going to be, to me, a game changer in how to actually have, for better terms, a video matrix where you can control the video output, not only going to your stream, but to other video screens within your building. We'll be delving into that a little bit later. That's a little bit on the more advanced level, but it's something that we're going to get into because it is a very beneficial program to use. I invite you to come over to our YouTube page at Tech Lab Studios and join. Ask any questions that you want there. Also join us on Facebook in the Tech Lab Studio group there. Also join us on Facebook in the Tech Lab Studio group, and also join us in the Evmux users group. We'll be happy to have you there, happy to answer any questions. And a lot of times when we get those questions in, I'll turn around and make a video on it so we can help explain things a little bit better. So again, our goal here is try to find ways to make technology work for you and do it where it doesn't break the bank. So see you in the next video.